Hello, IMC. How are you doing today? It's Noel Ramos, and I'm so glad to be here with you again on the IMC concert. We got a really great show for you tonight with the one and the only Artie Tobia, who will be joining us very shortly. We're going to talk to him briefly, and then we're going to hear some great songs from him. But first, I want to do a little commercial announcement. Our technical sponsor of the event, and I want to tell all my IMC artists that I invite you to join us this way and perform for us right here in the IMC.FB group. So please contact me by commenting wherever it is, or send me a private message, and I'd like to hook you up with a show like this as well. I think that this is a critical thing to be doing right now, and I want to thank all the artists who are putting on these shows this way, wherever they're doing it on the web, because they're serving a vital function right now, keeping us all connected and keeping us all sane. So much appreciated. So having said that, I want to bring Artie in to the feed right now, and I really want you guys to welcome him. So let's bring him on board and say hello. Hey, Artie, can you hear us? How you doing? Oh, hang on a second. I got to turn your sound on. How's that? Better?
I'm good on my end. If you
awesome.
Hear me.
I can hear you. So good to have you.
Well, thanks for having me, man. I'm grateful.
No, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. This is wonderful. I'm enjoying it as much as anyone else is. So
good.
I'm as much a fan as anyone. So before we get into the music, which of course we're all anxious for, I want to talk a little bit briefly about you and I and how we know each other, because apparently we have a long history. So
yeah.
According to you, we met many years ago, 15 in fact, at an event in New York called Gems. So what do you recall from that?
Well, it was one of these things that we're all young, eager, and trying to figure this path out. And as I said, I met you and a handful of other folks, and some of you, apparently I tied some of you together and you don't even know each other, but I guess maybe a little bit of a Connecticut connection. And but those are all great events, the conferences and things of that sort, where you can go and get a little education and learn from people who are maybe in the business or aspiring to be in the business, or form relationships and bonds and camaraderie and some sort of connection to bring it together, and make things happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and that's that same spirit is what led me to create the IMC originally, and that was, God, it's going on almost 20 years now, 18 years ago or something like that, 2002. And speaking of which, I talked to you about this a little bit ago too. I wanted to show the viewers something. I found this ad for that event where we met, and this ad is still live on the internet right now. It's still actually live, and it says 5/14/2005 to 5/15/2005 at Times Square Arts Center in New York, the Global Entertainment Media Summit. So what do you say, Artie? Do you want to go?
Yeah, we could book that and get there. Be like Back to the Future.
The little time machine action.
Yeah. We can talk around, see if we can get us in there.
While I was digging for this, I also did a little bit more archaeology, and I unearthed the original IMC website from the Internet Archives, and I was actually really proud that they archived so many of my pages over the years, and it was like going back in time. It was like blowing the dust off an old photo album. And here's this web. This was the original IMC back in 2003, and still there. So really cool to see this. And while I was rooting around, I also stumbled across this little website.
Oh yeah, I'm in the process of rebuilding that. I just, as a matter of fact, last week had a little consultation about my website, and that's a Bandzoogle site, and I have another website, and that one there just kind of really got a little out of control, so I need to clean it up a little bit. And good for me was that I just had so much going on. I just kept adding and adding and adding. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, this is like a mess. There's like way too much stuff on here. So it's going to go through a little bit of a rebuild in the next coming weeks, probably.
Gotcha. Well, having mentioned the IMC in this quick conversation we just had, I wanted to bring up something else that you and I have discussed, because in addition to these online concerts, what I also would like to revitalize are the online seminars that the IMC was conducting with some success. In between each event, we would do these live online interactive mentor sessions and workshops with IMC instructors, and some of them have expressed interest in doing that again for us, and I'd really like to revitalize those. So my question to you is, what would you like us to talk about in one of these sessions if we were to do something like that again?
Yeah, I think for me, an obvious, there's a few things I would think of. One would be, the never ending pursuit of building a fan base, acquiring those 5,000 fans, getting to that space where they're true fans. I've never been one to buy fans or to buy the spiders or whatever they're called to send out and just get everybody, oh look, I have 25,000 followers, and then you look at somebody's engagement and they have like nobody engages ever, and so I think building a fan base is always an important topic to me. Certainly keeping up to date with social media and what's current with Facebook, what's current with Instagram, what's current with Twitter, those for me are the main ones. TikTok, that's got a lot going on, and there's thinking that that's not going away anytime soon, and you might be smart to get in on it. I don't think it's going to be for me, but so the social media piece, and then of course the ever-changing landscape of music, be it Spotify, iTunes, or whatever's coming next.
Wow, that's a big list, Artie.
Well, I'm deep in that stuff. I mean, I'm schooling myself every day, and I know what needs to be done. I know the things that need to be looked at. I've been doing this a long time, and so and I am first to say I could be better at it than I am. But I know the geography. I'm just still learning to navigate it myself.
Well, those are great suggestions, and I'm glad that I'm recording this because I didn't take notes. So I'll be able to go back.
I didn't know I was noteworthy.
Oh, definitely. So I'll be able to go back and I'll write all those down, and we'll be sure we try to find some instructors who can address those things, and we'll do some workshops. The very first workshop I want to put together is with a friend of mine named Mcfarland, who is a director of photography, and he worked with me on a music video for a band called Tala, and that music video, once launched, had quickly amassed over 100,000 views on YouTube, which we were very proud of. And Aaron has a lot of experience as a director of photography, as a cinematographer, and he can speak to musicians in regard to the DIY methodologies that they can take advantage of to create their own video content. He can speak about the technicalities and the equipment needed, and he can also speak to what's next. If I want to hire a pro and do a real legit music video with somebody that I paid to do it, how do I find those people, and what am I looking for when I do? So we're going to try to get that seminar going very quickly, and I really hope that you will join us for that. I think your feedback would be great. I think you will be as...
all that kind of stuff, whether it's making a video or it's going to the studio or it's, deciding to still make CDs or not make CDs. I still sell CDs. I sell CDs at shows all the time. But it's about distinguishing the differences about whether or not you are running a business and if you want to invest in your business or not. A lot of people want to always, I don't have money, I can't spend. If you don't have the money, then you're not really in the business. You're not in the business of music or whatever you're pursuing, whether it be film or music or whatever it may be.
Thank you very much for saying that. That's the basic of that's the whole premise of the Independent Music Conference, that if you want to be a professional musician, it is a business and you are an entrepreneur. So
I spend probably a few $1,000s a year on my music business, and unfortunately I make that money over the course of the year back, but whether it's in performance or otherwise, but I mean, I make the money back. So I invest the money and, but I think that's the only way you got to do. You got to treat it like a business,
So my next question for you is a little bit off the track, but not really, because as we discussed these things, I learned that you, like me, are also an actor. And so I wanted you to go back in time a little bit and take us back to young Artie, when you were first getting involved in performance art, both as an actor and as a musician. What got you interested in it, and eventually what made you decide to focus on music more so than acting?
So It's just something that I always was attracted to and always wanted to do. So my first step into the entertainment world, well, I mean, if I went really back, I did a play like in the 4th or 5th grade. I was Santa Claus's trainer. He had to lose some weight. He was a little overweight for the Christmas holiday. But then I did West Side Story in high school, in my senior year of high school. And I think that's what made me go, oh, I like doing this, And I also sang. I was one of the Jets. I was in the chorus. I did not have a big part. I was Ahab. And but because of doing the play, a buddy of mine bailed out of his band because he moved away with his family. And they were like, hey, can you sing? Now, I knew I could sing, but I didn't want to sing in front of people. But then I did the play, and I kind of got past that. That started me on the music pursuit. A couple of years later, I started doing some acting classes down the city. I did a few things. I got a little TV pilot. I did a couple of other small things. I got an agent out of a showcase that we did. And then at the very same time, my music started kind of getting some traction. And I foolishly said, oh, I got to do one or the other. And the music was starting to bring in money.
Yeah.
I sort of put the acting on the back burner. And it's ironic because today's Chris Christopherson's birthday. He's 84 years old today. And he is probably, I'd love the life, man. I'd love to be a respected singer, songwriter, performer, and a respected actor. I'd love that, And so for whatever reason, though, I just leaned toward the music pretty hard. And that's the direction I've been going for the last 20 something years, 5 albums later and a bunch of shows and, some great opportunities. I'm happy as a clam.
Well, that's great. And it's never too late to take up the acting thing again,
Oh, no. I mean, I have plans to get back in, and get involved in a different space now. So, I think I'm probably a better actor today than I was, then.
And I remember this is something else that you and I talked about, and it relates to that seminar I want to do with Aaron, because as a musician, if you're doing music videos, you are definitely also an actor. Yeah. And so the line, the performance line between acting and stage performance of music starts to blur when you get into these little short films that become your music video, because we talked about the rise and fall of MTV as a video only network, and the fact that videos started to evolve over time into these actual short films. Yeah. And they tell the story that the music is portraying. So I think that that's something else that we would definitely want to hear more about from you when we're doing that seminar. Yeah. Oh.
I often think a lot of my songs lend themselves to a little being turned into a monologue or being turned into a little short video. I've had people tell me that, like, oh, your songs, like, we could develop a movie out of some of your songs. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
And didn't you also mention that one of your albums is an actual it's a story from start to finish, the entire...
Yeah, so Chase the Sun is my third album. And yeah, I kind of promoted it as a semi-autobiographical musical novel told in 13 chapters. And if you sit and listen to it from beginning to end, there's sort of a narrative that runs through. In fact, I actually wrote the narrative out and had it posted. I don't know if it's on my website or it was on one of my other pages, but embedding the lyrics from the songs as it chronologically moves along. And it's the story of the vagabond. And the vagabond, goes out on a journey trying to figure out life, and in the meantime finds out maybe he needed to stay right where he was, and when he gets back, might be too late. So I like that kind of stuff.
So that album, there's your first feature film.
Yeah, might very well be.
It's got a built-in soundtrack ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, Artie. Speaking of soundtracks and music, we really want to hear you perform. So why don't you take your place on stage there and tell us a little bit about your first song, and let's hear some music from Artie Tobia.
Well, this first song is actually from that album, and it picks us up. It picks up in the middle of the vagabond's adventures, and he might have gotten himself into a little bit of a predicament. and he's got to figure a way out.
Gotcha.
So that's where we're going to go first.
All right, IMC.FB, please, big welcome for Artie Tobia right here on the IMC.concerts. So happy to have him. Enjoy.
Ooh. Well, I was holed up a roadside hotel watching color TV. When a state trooper and a county sheriff, they were coming after me. Before they took possession, I snuck out the back window. I slipped down the bank and then I made my way out across the river. To avoid the fate of my predecessor, I headed north instead of south. And like Poncho down in Mexico, you know they're looking for me, no doubt. But a man's gotta use what a man's got in his head, and that's why I'm still here. And old Poncho is dead and died. Cross that river, they said, put your hands up in the air. And I was already gone, and I was so out of there. Never will surrender, Lord. I always must live free. I said, God, when you say my son, look upon down here and rescue me. Well, I suppose there's still a warrant for me back there in that state. For what it is I did, you know that I'd rather not say. You said we all should know some forgiveness, cause we all make our share of mistakes. See, I was born a free man, and that's how I'm gonna stay. And I crossed that river, they said, put your hands up in the air. And I was already gone, and I was so out of there. Never will surrender, Lord. I always must get free. I say, God, when we say, my son, look upon down here and rescue me. Later as I found freedom, I'm crossing over the state line. She had a wisp of hair across her face when her eyes, they met mine. Now the way she moved, it reminded me of a wildflower swaying in the wind. But when she came to me, man, I didn't know where to begin. And I crossed that river, they said, put your hands up in the air. And I was already gone, and I was so out of there. I never will surrender, Lord. I always must live free. I said, God, when we send me some luck, come down and rescue me. Cross that river, she said, put your hands up in the air. I was already gone, and I was so out of there. I never will surrender, Lord. I always must live free. I said, God, when we say, my son, look, come down here and rescue me. I said, God, when you send me some luck, come down here and rescue me. I said, God, when you send me some of your love, will come down here come down here and rescue me. All right. I don't think I'm hearing you if you're talking.
How about that now? Can you hear me, Artie?
Now I got you. Now
All
I
right.
got you.
Cool. So, you know, there's going to be glitches. This is all new stuff for us. We got
All good, man. All good.
So that one was Cross That River.
Cross that river.
Cool. I like that one. That's a.
Hands up in the air.
It's not only is it a great song, but it's a great story.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the next one you got coming up.
So, next one's Kryptonite. Kryptonite. And, you know, it's just about, it's unrelated to Cross That River. And it is, I guess it's about temptation.
Ah.
It's about temptation and about the power a young woman could have over an unsuspecting man.
Gotcha. A little bit of a Lolita story.
Might be. Well, I don't know if it's a Lolita story per se, but you know, it's a song about the temptations of the flesh.
Gotcha.
You know, like that.
All righty. Artie Tobia, ladies and gentlemen, on the IMC.concert.
I met a girl, that if I was Superman, you know to me, she would be just like Kryptonite. She make me weak, bring me down to my knees, and I couldn't even put up a fight. She said, come on, baby, just take me home. I said, baby, please, you gotta let me be. She whispered, baby, it'll be alright. What could I do? She was Kryptonite. Little girl, that if I was Superman, you know to me, she would be just like Kryptonite. She get too close, I'm like a bullet from a gun. I can run or fly away. She says, come on, baby, won't take me home. I said, baby, please, you gotta let me be. Whisper, baby, it'll be alright. What could I do? She was Kryptonite. She said, come on, baby, just take me home. I said, baby, please, you gotta let me be. She whispered, baby, it'll be alright. What could I do? She was Kryptonite. A little girl that if I was Superman, you know to me, she would be like Kryptonite. Siren song, your is so strong. My strength is the strength I need. She said, come on, baby, please take me home. I said, baby, please, you gotta let me be. baby hit me alright. What did I do? She was Kryptonite. She said, come on, baby, please take me home. I said, baby, please, you gotta let me be. With me, baby, it'll be alright. What could I do? She was Kryptonite.
Woo! Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Artie, we got a couple shout outs we got to do. There's some folks that are commenting here. We got to say hello to Jackie, Shannon, Robert. Who else we got in here?
Shelly. Hello, Shelly.
Susan.
Yep.
Samuel.
Yep.
So big shout out to. Nice.
Hello to everybody, one and all. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much. We appreciate you joining us. Okay, so that was Kryptonite. So according to my notes, next up we have a song called River of Tears. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a sad guy, man. I got crossed out river. I got river of tears. I got women chasing me down and plaguing me. Man, oh man.
Yeah, but I understand from the show I watched earlier tonight that you did, you also like blue skies, and you sing about blue skies a lot too.
I do sing about blue skies a lot. That's true. That's true. Well, I didn't know you were paying attention so much.
Yeah, I was.
I found out that I was trying to put the set together tonight for a summertime theme, and I was like, well, let me look. And I was like, oh, I got that. Oh, blue sky. I got blue sky. Oh, I got all these songs with the word blue sky in them. So. Yeah, but that's all right. Yeah, I'm an eternally optimistic person. I'm like hopelessly romantic and eternally optimistic, which is like an affliction, but you can't ever get away from it.
Well, that's really cool. That leads me to something I want to say. I touched upon it briefly, but I do want to say this more in depth right now, especially to you and to all the other artists who I've been enjoying online, because as I mentioned, you do shows regularly. You have what, 3 a week now?
I do 3 a week. I do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. I've been doing Mondays since November prior to the COVID event. And then I picked up Wednesdays and Fridays just to sort of simulate my schedule because I do normally about 200 nights a year. So, or somewhere around there, give or take a little bit. But so I've been doing 3 nights a week since March.
So I've been enjoying your shows. I've been enjoying other artists from the IMC and elsewhere who've been doing these online performances. And I just want to say on behalf of all of us who are watching and enjoying your shows, thank you. Because we're stuck in our little apartments or wherever we are, and we would be going absolutely insane if we didn't have you folks out there keeping the connections alive, keeping the communities going. So you're really serving a much higher purpose right now than you normally do, which is already lofty to begin with, but especially during a time like this when we're stuck in this pandemic, I can't tell you how much we appreciate what you're doing for us.
That's not lost on me in any way, and I don't take that responsibility lightly. And I made a commitment in my case to do 3 nights a week, and I've had people say, "Only 3 nights a week is too many, and you should maybe only do 1 night a week," and a variety of people from different places. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I should or I shouldn't, but I said I was doing 3 nights a week through the duration of this, and if it ends up being 6 months, 9 months, 4 months, 8 months, I don't really care. I'm going to do 3 nights a week until whatever. And the folks that all tune in, and some are great. They've not missed a single show in 3 months. And they have others that come and go and whatever. But there's a lot of gratitude and a lot of expression of gratitude toward what it does for people at the end of the day and whatever. And that's, like I say, not lost on me. And I have a service-oriented mind. So it's like, to me, I'm here to serve and to do that through my music and hopefully brighten somebody's day or give them something to latch onto. So I appreciate that. I
hope that you will join us again on another IMC concert down the road. I hope this isn't the only time we get to hear from you on this event. All right, awesome. So I just want to remind everybody that we're going to be doing this once a week, Monday nights, right here in the IMC.FB group, featuring IMC artists at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. So I want you to come back, enjoy the show, interact with us, comment on it as the show progresses so we know you're watching, and we'll give you shout outs. And without further ado, I want to bring Artie back for another song. And why don't you tell us a little bit about this one?
Well, I guess it's a story about waiting. It's a story about waiting and letting time maybe reveal the answers. So it's called River of Tears. I believe things happen for a reason, and this might be our season. I too love the smell of the beaches. I want to see how long faith reaches. I see you in front of me. I see you looking right back at me. Can you see I've been weeping? I want to know, are you happy? Hanging on for 21 long years. Had some close counts, cried a river of tears. I believe when the time is right, our two worlds they will collide, and we will hug each other and we will cry. I see you laughing and dancing. I see you smoking and drinking. I want to see inside of your soul. I want to know just what you've been thinking. Hanging on for 21 long years. Had some close times, cried a river of tears. I believe the time is right. Our two worlds they will collide, and we will hug each other and we will cry. We will hug each other and we will cry. I'm so glad to have you in my life. Just wish we hadn't lost so much time. I hear time can't stand still. We can't catch up, I know we will. We're hanging on for 21 long years. Had some close calls, cried a river of tears. I believe when the time is right, our two worlds they will collide, and we will hug each other and we will cry. We will hug each other and we will cry. You love horses and so do I. Maybe one day we can ride side by side into a sunset. 'Cause I know this story, it ain't over yet. Hanging on for 21 long years. Had some close times, cried a river of tears. I believe when the time is right, our two worlds they will collide. We will hug each other and we will cry. We will hug each other and we will cry. I will be forgiven when we cry. Have a new beginning when we cry. I will be forgiven when we cry. When we cry. When we cry, when we cry, oh, when we cry, we will hug each other and we will cry.
Yeah, well, it was a sad song, I guess, but it made me happy. So there's a little oxymoron going on there.
It's an ironic tune that way, because people tell me that. I always hear the band when I play that. Those last two songs especially, I always hear my whole band in there, so sometimes I hear them even though they're not here with me.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun.
You hear them in your head? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, then did you ever tell them that? Do they know that that they occupy your mind?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, we talk. I share that stuff with them, you know. But,
what do they say to? They're like Artie, you're weird, man, or are they into it?
I mean, so it's like you do it for so long that like I can almost imagine, you know, my guitar player on my left or the drummer behind, you know, whatever it may be. I can feel it. I can imagine it. You know, I've done it so many times. You know, some songs you can just play in your sleep. You know, you can have a whole conversation and still sing a song. It's like a ventriloquist act, you know. But,
that's actually really cool.
Yeah. But no, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what made me think of that. Something happened made me think like I feel like the band's here with me. So, you know.
Well, I guess they are in spirit then, right?
In spirit, I'm sure, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. You're just creating even more connectivity, so it's working.
Yeah, it's all about connectivity. There's no doubt, man.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Power of the word, man. Power of the written word.
Yeah, power of music.
Well, I could do a lot. Words make us sing, right? I mean, words make us do all kinds of things. So, yeah.
Yeah, very, very thrilling. Well, listen, Artie, I don't want to let you go just yet. I'm enjoying this a little bit too much, and so I'm gonna be a little bit selfish now, and I'm gonna ask you to play another song for us if you don't mind. I know I said 3, but I'm exercising executive privilege, and I'm going to request a 4th if you can do it for us.
All right.
So tell us what this one's going to be.
Well, here's what this is about. I don't, much to your chagrin probably, because you probably are not going to agree with what I'm about to say, but I don't really believe time exists, man. It's a man-made concept. You got to be there at 9 o'clock sharp. You got to be there. It's like, time's a man-made concept, and for me, once I came to accept that, it was very liberating to find out and to discover. And I have not been late in, and it's ironic I'm going to say this, I've not been late in years, which of course is a measure around time, but I've not been late in years anywhere since I made this discovery. I only arrive wherever I go, and I've now been supported. If you ask your phone for directions and they give you directions and you follow the directions and you get to where you're going, when you get there, it says you've arrived.
It's true. It does.
It's the truth. It's the truth, because it too recognizes time does not really exist. It's just a man-made concept. And so I've been accused of this is how I wasted a weekend, but I say, waste not, I did. And it is, I thought that thing that's man-made well spent, but others seem to not necessarily agree. I think I could be more productive with that man-made concept than I am, perhaps.
So how does this lead us into the song?
It leads to the song because it's just you're gonna get to observe for yourself what I did with my weekend, and you can decide if it was a waste of time or not.
What's the song called?
The song's called Boom Boom Boom.
Alrighty, thank you. All right, IMC.FB, Artie Tobia right here live on the IMC.concert.
Woke up this morning and I went down to the barber shop. Woke up this morning, went straight down to the barber shop. Laid down my money and got me a fresh shave and a cut. I went to the bakery, I got myself a cup of Joe. Went to the bakery, got myself a nice fresh hot cup of Joe. Sat sidewalk sipping slow, 'cause I had nowhere to go. Then I went walking, I made my way right through the town. band that was singing. Got your digging that groovy sound. And then boom, 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 twiddle-diddle-dee, twiddle-diddle-dang. And then boom, 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 twiddle-diddle-dee, twiddle-diddle-diddle-dang. Heard that singer singing something about a black cat bone. Don't come Mary. She got a shimmy and a shake. She was looking so fine. Oh, baby. Don't come Mary. She got a shimmy and a shake. She was looking so fine. Look at that behind. Oh, my goodness. Me and Mary, we share a bottle of cheap red wine. Then boom, 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 twiddle-diddle-dee, twiddle-diddle-day. Then boom, 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 twiddle-diddle-dee, twiddle-diddle-diddle-day. Me and Mary, we kept going, kept going, boom, boom, all night long. And Mary was something else. Heard that rooster crowing when I made my way home. Heard that rooster crowing, cock-a-doodle-doo, when I made my way home. Heard that singer still singing song about black cat bone. And then boom, 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 twiddle-diddle-dee, twiddle-diddle-day. And then boom, 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 twiddle-diddle-dee, twiddle-diddle-diddle-day. Heard that singer still singing song about black cat bone. Heard that singer still singing song about black cat bone. Heard that singer still singing song about a black cat bone.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
All
Nice.
right.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thanks for letting me play that one.
Thank you. Thanks for doing it. Okay, so before we let you go, Artie, I'd like to give you some shout outs for you. I'd like to give you some plugs. So please tell us where we can find you online and how we can get your music and totally immerse ourselves in everything that is Artie Tobia.
All right. I appreciate that opportunity. So, you know, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. Tobia Music on Twitter and Instagram. And you can just look me up, Artie Tobia. That's, oh, you have it up there, Tobia, Tobia. And then ATB, the Artie Tobia Band, is my band page on Facebook. And then my website is artietobia.com. I always encourage people to go there, at least give me your email, because we just never know exactly how long social media is going to be around. I have a funny thing. I have college age kids, and they yesterday were saying they think social media should be shut down.
Why is that?
They just said that they're sick of it and they've had enough of it, and they're like, you know, it's like there's nothing good on there, and it's like, you know, whatever. And I just thought, well, that's interesting that age set would be saying that. And you know, for me, I use it for what it is. It's a social media outlet. It's not a griping place. It's not a political, standpoint. It's just, for me, I use my music. I put some stuff up, that matters to me and whatever. I like I say, I put up something about Chris Christopherson today because it's his 84th birthday, and I use it to be social. I don't use it to be antisocial.
Okay, I get you. I like that.
Yeah, so there's that, like I say, so my website's artietobia.com, and then I guess the big thing that's still in the wings, we were canceled on April 30th because of the COVID virus, and now we're scheduled for October 1st at the Emlyn Theater in Mamaroneck. Myself, my full band, the Artie Tobia Band, along with Kevin McIntyre and the Lawn Wranglers. His band's going to be a night of like alt rock and alt country and roots rock Americana, featuring our two bands, and we're still seeing what the unfold's going to be with that. We might be doing some kind of blend of virtual tickets with a high quality stream as well as physical seats in the venue, but they're probably going to be limited. So, but it's all good, man. In the meantime, I'm working on 2 new records simultaneously while I'm, not able to do everything that I normally do. I'm missing out on a lot of gigs and subsequently a lot of money, but I'm looking to, I think my whole summer schedule is now going to be canceled is what I found out. So, which is it's frustrating. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's, a lot of emotion with it, but, I'm working on like a singer-songwriter acoustic album, just like my voice and my guitar only, no full band stuff. My other 5 albums are all full band, and then I'm working on a straight blues album.
Okay.
So that's sort of what's in the hopper and what's going on and where I'm at. And I welcome anybody to please follow and
I want to talk to you a little bit more about that live show. So you're actually going to be in the venue performing to a audience in the venue.
Yes. So as of right now, the discussions I had with them just a day or two ago was, we may end up being their first show back since they closed down in March.
Wow.
And but there may be some restrictions, and so it's a 250 or 75 seat theater, 250, 275, something like that. And we had already we were on our way to what I believe was going to be a sold out show. Back in mid-March, we had already sold 150 seats, and we only have to sell, about 100 more. And I'm pretty sure we were going to sell that show out. And so now there's some limits as to what the return's going to look like. And, basically it's a format of, in that particular space, like they have to leave every other row empty and so many feet between non-related parties. And that will amount to about 60 seats. Or something like that, and again, I don't know if that's all hard math, but more my own speculation of what that would all probably sound and look like and feel like.
And what's the name of this venue again?
The Emlyn Theater in Mamaroneck.
Mamaroneck, New York.
Yeah, Mamaroneck, New York. The Emlyn Theater. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, best wishes to you on that show, and
well, thanks. I appreciate it. And they're good. They're real good people. But listen, these venues, they're all. The acoustic up in Bridgeport shut its doors. Somebody told me the Town Crier, which has been around for 35 years, whatever it is, that may be on the brink. And I don't know if that's true or not or what, but, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for a lot of these smaller venues. They can't sustain without having shows. So,
right.
But I just take it all in stride, man. I mean, I just adapt and get back in my lane and keep moving forward as best I can,
I hear you. That's all we can do.
It's all we can do. It's all we can do. I don't lament, I won't complain. It's what it is.
All right, Artie. Again, I want to thank you so much for doing this for us. Really appreciate it. I'm enjoying these things immensely, and I want you to keep doing what you're doing. We're here. We're listening. We appreciate it.
I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful.
All right.
Thanks for having me on here. Really appreciate it all.
My pleasure. And we will welcome you back soon, hopefully. I'd love to have you back on.
I would love to do another one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That was Artie Tobia right here on the IMC.concert in the IMC.FB group. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in and listening to us live. And I also want to thank anybody who watches this in reruns and checks it out after it is archived to Facebook. It will stay up in the group for as long as they let me leave it up. And so you can always come back and check it out and listen to Artie whenever you want. I also want to announce our next week's performance, and I want to do that with this little thing I did here because this is funny. I want to want to show you. I thought I made a little joke here. See if you guys get a kick out of this. Oops, wait a minute. I did it wrong. Hold on. Glitch. So I want to welcome next week Fictive Firefight right here on the IMC.concert. And I think you will enjoy their show. I want you to come back and check that out next week right here in the IMC.FB group. And thank you once again for watching, everybody. And stay tuned for next week. Stay safe. Stay sane. Wash your hands. Wear a mask when you go out. We will get through this. We will get through this. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.